Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see the making of this beautiful half circle skirt dress, and this is out of knit fabric. It's interlock knit and it's about 2 yards, and it's a knee length dress and it is very easy to make. Let's see how to make it. So first we will cut the skirt part of the dress. For this I have folded the fabric once along the width, and I'm taking about 25 inches of length for my skirt. Now let's mark the waist of the skirt. So before we mark, we need to follow this formula as you can see and take the measurement accordingly. Now here I'm marking 10.75 inches, and I've left about half an inch from the selvage because I will trim it off. Mark till you get the other end of the skirt. Now for the length of the skirt, as I told, I've taken 25 inches, and this is from the waist point, and from the corner of the fabric it is about 36 inches, and you got to mark 36 inches all around as you did for the waist measurement. And cut along the marked lines, leaving about half an inch of seam allowance. Now I've cut the skirt at the waist and at the hem point. Now with the remaining of the fabric we will cut the bodice piece, and here I folded the fabric along the stretch line, and this is a two-way stretch knit, and this is on 4 fold. First we'll mark the shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches, and the neck is 4 inches. Armhole is also 8 inches, and here I've taken an extra inch for the shoulder measurement because we are making a boat neck for the front and the back. And for the waist I've marked 14.5 inches with half an inch of seam allowance. And here for this dress I'm going to use the serger for the construction of the dress, and hence I'm leaving only half an inch of seam allowance. For the neck depth I've taken 4.5 inches, square it off. And for the shoulder slope I've taken 0.5 inches down. Now for the chest measurement it is 9.5 inches with half inch of seam allowance, and for the waist it is 8.5 inches with 0.5 inch of seam allowance, and join the points. And here in the waist seam allowance I'm making a slight curve so that it will have a better fit when I wear the dress. And now I'm marking the back armhole. For the front, go an inch inwards and join that point with the shoulder slope. Then draw the front armhole curve and make a very shallow curve for the neckline. So it is a boat neck, and cut off the fabric. Here I'm cutting all the 4 layers together. First we'll cut along the back measurements and leave half an inch above the shoulder line for the seam allowance. Now separate the back borders from the front and cut the front armhole. Now I'm going to line the borders, so I'm going to cut the lining from the main fabric. Here I'm just going to cut off approximately, and then I'll cut a separate piece for the back as well as for the front. And make a center notch so that it'll be easy for you to cut. And for the sleeves, I've folded the fabric once and then I've folded the fabric twice like this, and mark a straight line. From that line, mark 3 inches for the sleeve cap and 6 inches for the sleeve length, and I'm squaring off the lines. Now from the first line we drew, mark the half of armhole measurement, which is 8 inches here, and half of sleeve round measurement, which is 6.5 inches with 0.5 inches for the seam allowance, and join the point. Now make a curved line as I'm showing and make it flat at about an inch or 1.5 inch. When you reach the armhole measurement, it should not be curved there, it should have a flat end. And measure the armhole from the borders and on this line which we drew just now to make sure it matches, and make sure to exclude the seam allowance which you have left in the borders pattern. And if it matches, then you're good to go and you can cut it. If not, you got to adjust a little bit until it matches and then cut the fabric. Here I'm cutting all the 4 layers of fabric together. Now this will be the back part of the sleeve. Make some notches at the center and at the seam allowance. Separate the pieces. Now for the front, it has to be on the opposite side, so layer the fabrics right side together or wrong sides together, and then make a slight curve like this, and then cut it off and mark the front side of the sleeve with 2 notches like this, and for the back part with 1 notch. Now we'll see the stitching, and here I'm taking 1/2 inch of seam allowance as I said earlier, and I'm joining the shoulder seams together now in the main borders. And repeat the same for the lining of the borders. Now align the fabrics right sides together and make sure you're aligning the front borders with the front and the back with the back, as we have taken the same fabric for both the main layer as well as the lining, and match them up at the shoulder points. And make sure the neck is aligned and make a stitch. And for the neck, I'm taking about 1/4 of an inch as the seam allowance. Now it is done. Turn the fabric right sides together. And join the sleeve pieces together as well as the bodice seam so that it'll be easy for us to join the sleeves. And here I'm not using the knife to cut my fabric, I'm just joining. And attach the bodice pieces as well so that it comes as a single fabric when we sew the sleeves together, as well as when we are joining the bodice with the back and the front. Now we will see the sleeves stitching. First, you have to finish the raw edges of the sleeve, and for that I'm just aligning my fabric with the knife. It is very small trimming here. Repeat for the other sleeve. And then match up the center notch of the sleeve shoulder seam of the bodice, and make sure that you're matching the back part of the sleeve with the back armhole of the bodice as well as for the front, and then make a stitch. Here I'm taking about 1/2 inch of seam allowance. Now don't pull the fabric, just let it go, align it slowly and stitch it so that there won't be any puckering or pulling of the threads or of the fabric. It'll be very neat and nice. Just take your time and do it. Now it is all done. It is very nice and neat inside as well on the outside, and repeat the same for the other sleeves as well. Now the sleeves are done. Now with right sides together, join the borders along with the sleeves, starting from the sleeve and ending at the waist. Make a straight stitch, and here again it's 0.5 inch of seam allowance. Do it on the other side. Now the bodice is complete. As you can see here, it is very neat and it is very beautiful both inside and out. Next we'll see how to do the skirt, and for the skirt it's fairly simple. It's just one seam at the center back, and make a notch at the center. Now here I've finished the center back seam. Now with that seam and the notch we already made, match them together and make notches on the quarter parts of the skirt so that it'll be easy to match up with the bodice. And in the bodice also mark the center front and the center back notches. Turn the bodice right side out. Now with right side of the skirt and the right side of the bodice, match the center back notch with the center back seam of the skirt. And center front notch on the bodice with the center front notch on the skirt. And the other two notches on the side seam of the bodice. Serge it all around. Make sure the 3 layers of fabric are aligned and then make the stitch, and remove the pins as you go along. Our dress is down here. And for the hem, I'm going to leave as it is because it is a knit fabric and it won't fray. But if you would like to make a hem, you can finish the raw edges with the overlock stitch or a zigzag it and fold it once and make a hem. And I will also finish the sleeve hem by folding it once, making a straight stitch, and we are done with the beautiful dress. So I made this mom and me versions in the same fabric for my daughters as well. So if you guys would like to see mom and me versions of making of dresses, please let me know in the comments and we'll make it in the future together. So I hope you all liked watching the making of this beautiful dress, and it is fairly simple, very easy to make. It is a very beginner friendly project and hope you all will give it a try. And if you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. I will meet you all in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.